How's it going, Nitin? Welcome to the Groundbreakin.
Thank you, thank you. I mean, pleasure to be here. I was just checking, the kind of people those who have been on the panel before and who have spoken on this podcast. And my first reaction was, I think Deepak has got it wrong. He has got the wrong guy, right? But truly honored and humbled that you probably thought that I could come and share some of the learnings with everyone who's been listening to it, and maybe we can have like a cool, candid conversation. So very, very happy, exciting day. Looking forward to a conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks a lot for hopping in. You're very kind, Nitin. We can start with maybe you can tell us a bit about yourself, your role at Pazo, and like little about your background. What's up with you? What have you been doing?
Got it. Okay. It's interesting because it's going to take some time. Personally, so I'm from Lucknow, born in Kolkata, stayed a significant part in UP, finished my schooling, came down to Bangalore. Fortunately or unfortunately, I'm an engineer. So, did my engineering. During my engineering, I figured out that probably, I mean, all due respect to the core engineers that are out there, but that was not something that I was very interested in. And I thought, okay, maybe I could do something that I am deeply passionate about. I was passionate about two things: talking and sports. I'm little bit grateful and thankful that today I get to do at least both of them today. So, talking, convincing, extracurricular activities took me to do things beyond my curriculum, and started off a couple of companies when I was back in college. That gave me a taste of how partnership works, how does a whole business ecosystem works. So that's how then I started off my journey. Worked in edtech for close to 7 years. Worked with a giant called as Byju's, and this is early Byju's. When I very famously tell this that Byju's got me before they got Shah Rukh Khan. So, so very early team of Baidu started doing my internship there. I was also a student. I was preparing for my CAT exam, then jumped on to be a part of the very interesting team, which is the higher education team. So not the traditional products that Baidu used to sell, something that has always been the controversial corner for them for all the things that's been happening in the market. So I was grateful enough to be in a different team where I was learning more about partnerships. I was learning B2B, B2C. So it was very interesting. That went on for a good 2 to 3 years. I picked up, grew up the ranks from an associate to a senior associate to a team leader to a zonal head. Byju's launched their first SaaS product kind of thing. That was my first understanding also about SaaS and how the software could work, right? Because earlier I was selling tablets and GMAT subscriptions and stuff. So that was really interesting. That happened. I got to lead a very special, like an Avengers kind of team that came together at Byju's to sell a very special product, which then later got taken over by Disney, by the way. So that was very good learning. And when I had my fair share of learning and decided to move on, became founding member at another edtech, very interesting startup where we were solving for upskilling, solving for higher education. That went on for a good 4.5 years. A lot of credit to what I learned from business perspective, from sales, marketing, leadership perspective. A lot of it shaped there at Career Labs. Did a bunch of interesting stuff of building teams from scratch. I remember there was an interesting time when I was roaming all across the country, going to a city, setting up a team from scratch, like from employee one, make it like a full functional, well-oiled machine, move on to the next city. So very interesting, GTMs and stuff that I did. Then after for a good 7, 8 years where I worked, I thought, okay, it's time to upskill myself, get to know what's happening in the world more. MBA was always on my mind, even earlier when I wrote my CAT, then I wrote my GMAT, and I was thinking, okay, what's the best college, what to do about this and that, right? So my previous startup was an ISB, Indian School of Business incubated company as well. A lot of professors were the VC investors, and I thought, okay, this probably is the best B school in the country. So what more can be done? So figured out different programs that are there. Did my MBA from ISB Hyderabad. Best 1.5 years of my life. Met some really interesting people, right from someone who's in the armed forces to someone who's an entrepreneur, someone who is leading different teams, someone who's probably coming from a very, very different background. That really upped my network. That really gave me a lot of understanding, crazy professors, amazing classmates, best B school in the country. So I think that really shaped a lot of things. And that is when I switched more towards the SaaS technology sector. I was always around that intersection of technology and products, but then I made like a very conscious switch. Currently, I'm the director of this AI SaaS company called as Pazo, where we are selling to different retailers all across the world, different facility management companies all across the world. Happy to lead different functions like sales, marketing, customer success, a lot of input that goes into the product. So basically, running the whole business ecosystem, all the customer facing business teams that are there, that's what I do for a living. Um, that's more on the professional part. We spoke about passion earlier. Something that keeps me alive is my love towards sports. I'm an ardent cricket, ardent football fan. I am a diehard Bengaluru FC, Manchester United, of course, Indian cricket team fans and stuff. But I always felt very strongly and passionately about that we should do something about the underappreciated sports that are there in the country. And that's when I went ahead along with my very lovely friend. He actually, it was his idea that he started off. I joined his mission. His name is Sai Kiran. And we started off something called as Khel India, where we probably just try to spread the awareness about not so appreciated sports in the country. Let's say everyone talks about the IPL, the cricket, and I'm a big cricket fan.
Yeah.
So it's not that I have something against cricket or any other sports, but people don't talk about the other sports that are also bringing much celebrations to the country, much laurels to the country, right? And that's where we closely work in working with players, working with brands, creating that awareness on various social media channels, creating the thought leadership around why you should have other sports also being there, giving people the much needed news of what happened, which tournament. There's a javelin tournament happening. There's a throw ball competition that India won or whatever, right? So that's what keeps me busy. That's what's been up in life lately. Yeah.
Wow, I mean that's some insane journey, Nitin. I've noticed that you kind of hop different roles, but majorly it was around growth, sales. So your current role is kind of like an amalgamation, or like one thing led to another. And edtech was something that you always wanted to be a part. As I think you spent number of years there, and how did that shift happen to shifting to this? Majorly, I'm just curious about how did you end up handling the business, considering you're coming from a growth background and sales background, though these are the essential part
Correct.
of a business.
No, interesting. In fact, I would like to go a little bit back. And probably I would start by giving credit to my parents because I think it was somewhere in the blood. My father handled different business units for GE, General Electricals. So probably it was there in the blood that it had to somehow come to me. Although I chose a very different technical part, that is engineering. But during my engineering, I'm also very thankful to Acharya, where I did my undergrad, met some crazy people there. And I figured out that most of the engineering graduates are not doing pure engineering works
I
today.
mean, in India, it's like whatever you want to do, you have to do engineering.
Engineering, then you can do whatever, right? So something
Even for design, a lot of designers have done like engineering.
exactly.
Okay, now we can follow up.
Yeah. And I know one of the best designers who are probably one of the best engineers that I knew, right? So even with UI, UX or anything else, right? So that's where it came from. So when I was in college, I was exposed, and then again, the credit goes to the college also, right? Where I was exposed. So one of my college fest in Bangalore is probably the biggest fest in terms of footfall. So imagine you are the organizing committee of that college. You're speaking to a bunch of seniors. There's an entrepreneurship cell that you can go and you can speak to people, right? I remember seeing this very interesting TV series which comes on TV is called as Pictures. I was I just
Actually,
yeah. And I saw in I didn't know the spelling, but I learned a very cool word, entrepreneurship, and this and that. And I was like, okay, I also have to build something of my own. No idea. And someone told me, oh, you should do MBA, then you'll be able to build stuff of your own, which is like a very, very major, everyone that's following that. But that was not the case. Sales marketing happened to me very, very, very naturally. I just as I told it, I think I was at the right place at the right time. That is how I would like to put that across. I was doing some internship. I was studying at Byju's, and then I was able to go ahead and get that particular role. What I was very happy, and for everyone listening to this, right, I would strongly recommend that in the early stage of your career, if you're able to work in a very small startup where you'll get to wear a lot of multiple hats. I know everyone would eventually would want a like a more stable job, very defined roles that are there. But and especially as I told when you are young, because someday I'm thinking like as a sales guy, the other guy I have to think like a marketing guy. Then there's a new product that is being launched, so can we think about the GTM strategy of it? There are days when I've also done the HR Friday engagement things also, right? All of these are the perks, and all of these things
Yeah.
is something that you get once you work at a early stage startup, less number of employees. I was lucky enough to be there as my first job. Small 20-30 member team. Still continues. We are also a very lean organization, and Pazo runs things very profitably, very bootstrapped way, right? Because then you get to know how to make the most out of the given resources that are there.
Yeah.
Against like when you work in a big company. So that happened very naturally to me. So because at these kind of stages of the company, you get to wear multiple hats. So someday I was being the sales guy, somewhere being the marketing guy, defining a growth strategy. So I think that is where it happened, and went on to be EdTech. Just happened to be there. I think more than the domain, I loved the idea of building something from scratch and scaling it up. Loved the idea of talking to amazing people. So imagine I was helping people get into best B schools in the world.
Wow.
And there's an AVP of a
While you were at Byju's, while you were
yeah. So that was a product that we used to sell.
got it.
Right, MBA
Oh, that's
consulting.
like a different learning in itself, right?
Correct. And imagine the person that I'm talking to. So I remember there was a guy I was talking to, was a CA. His all India rank was third rank, right? He's coming telling me, Nitin, can you please tell me what are the best colleges in finance where I should go and do my MBA? That guy knows finance probably better than half of my entire family, right? And this guy's coming and asking me, Nitin, which is the best B school for me in finance? So the best part was I was able to do that kind of research, and I was able to help him out. Oh, you know what? You should not apply to NYU Stern, but probably go to this college. Or don't apply for European colleges. Don't go to Germany. That's not the college for finance. Probably go to a London School of Business. Right? All of those came in because you do your research, you do your work, you figure out what needs to be done, what doesn't needs to be done, and stuff. Right? So the entire idea of selling, the entire idea of not even selling as in not in a negative term, because a lot of people
Yeah.
understand that from a negative term. The idea of someone has a problem, he or she has come to me with that problem, and I am able to solve that for them.
Yeah.
I think I absolutely love that idea. I still do, right? I'm solving now problems for retailers at Pazo. They have a problem that, oh, my operations is all screwed up. It's all completely all over the place. Don't worry, I have a solution that would help you out, right? How do you do that? So that's why that consultative selling, I've sort of fell in love with that process. And I'm happy that in various organizations that I went, I was able to carry on with that. So yeah.
Wow. I was just, I think we had a conversation about what you've been doing, and you mentioned that this job involves like a lot of traveling, which sounds crazy from the other side. Like it sounds fun. You are traveling to Singapore, US. What's the role that you're playing at Pazo? And maybe like to share about how are you helping the clients and how you're bringing the clients. What's your exact role in the company?
Got it.
Or I would also like you to emphasize on the stuff where you mentioned that you kind of your work directly affected the business, and it brought a lot of business to the company.
Definitely. No, so we are solving a very interesting problem at Pazo. That's what something that keeps me excited to go to work every day. So we are a SaaS company. We make software for retailers and for facility management companies. Again, credit goes to the founders and Sharjeel and the other founders that are there of Pazo, who thought about this as a very interesting problem to solve, because what happens is we are coming under the larger bracket of retail tech. There are a lot of players in retail tech today because there's a bunch of problems that you can solve in retail today. And of course, you need a technology for that. So the retail tech segment is quite crowded. What Pazo chose was to solve a very simple problem, which was when you enter a store, I'll give an example, right? When you enter a store, there are a bunch of things that are completely screwed, but you never get to know that. Let's say I see a rack over here, right? There's a shelf. There's a certain logic to what goes on top, what goes on second, what goes on third, what goes on fourth. For you, it will look like, okay, it's just another shelf or a rack and things are pretty sorted. But if you ask a visual merchandiser, he or she is going to say, no, it's absolutely not as per the planogram that they have planned for. Or very simple, I asked a lot of bunch of retailers or a lot of malls in India and across, they use our software. They say, you know what? My fourth floor is completely cleaned. And I said, okay, how do you know that? Oh, it is clean, and the person who has cleaned it is maybe the janitor or the maintenance person. They have sent a photo on the WhatsApp group. I asked them a simple question. How can you tell me that whether this photo is of today or of yesterday or of last week? And imagine someone who's handling like 10, 15 malls, which have 5, 6 different floors that are
Insane
there,
scale.
right?
Yeah.
So work is still happening, but there is a lot of madness. What Pazo does it brings a method to the madness to your entire operations bit that is there. Now imagine a visual merchandiser. I'll probably talk about without taking the name. One of the biggest innerwear company in the world. They are one of our biggest clients. Now they have 1,400 stores in India alone. 1,400 stores.
That's insane.
Right? Imagine this, right? And there's a visual merchandising head of that company who sits out of an office in Bangalore. This person has told that, okay, these are the, so there is, let's say 15th August coming up, for example, and there's a certain branding that I want to ensure that it's replicated across all my stores. The stores will take that image, the store managers will take that image, and they will go ahead and they will start ensuring that their stores are being compiled or, they are using that and they are adhering to the brand guidelines. Now, how on earth will you check, even if it is 3 photos out of 1,400 stores, that's 4,200 images for someone to sit and check.
Crazy.
Pazo does that in 5 seconds today. Right? Why?
Wow.
Use of technology, use of AI, right? So that becomes really, really interesting and cool. So that is the problem that we are trying to solve. Operational teams that are there, they have a bunch of SOPs, they have a bunch of checklists, they have a bunch of their North Star metrics, and their processes that they definitely would want it to be followed on a daily basis. We ensure that that's something that is getting done, primarily working on 3 pillars, ensuring the work is getting done right time, right place, by the right person. That is what Pazo does. And us answering a second question, how does it impact on the business? Straight away impact, right? I mean, imagine you enter a store and all the shelves and everything is quite messed up. First impression means a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
Or imagine you have because right now what's happening is with the current economics of the world and what's been happening, all the situation, right? People are trying to go very profitable. You should read reports of how many retail stores are open in India and abroad in the last 1 year. Then how many stores are closed also. Right?
What's a ratio like? Just
the number of stores closed are more than the number of stores open.
Yeah, that makes sense because of online shopping. And
correct. Online shopping is there, while there's also an offline shift. I mean, we're living now in a post-COVID world, right? So there's an offline shift also, but only the brands that are able to give out an experience today, they are the one that are surviving in the market. Remember as a kid, I know it no longer exists, but remember going to Big Bazaar.
Yeah.
Rush.
Yep.
Imagine on 26th January, I remember when I was a kid, we used to line up outside Big Bazaar.
Right? Yeah.
We used to line up outside Big Bazaar to get in, right? Because at Big Bazaar, they are giving you quantity. But imagine today, I'll speak about 2 very interesting brands that I like. Let's say if I go to a Mokobara store.
Yeah.
Or if I go to a New Me Asia store, right? The moment you enter, I remember going to New Me Asia store with my wife a few weeks back. The moment you enter, there's an experience that they are serving you. They're just not being a regular retailer. Or if you go to a Mokobara store, what are they selling? They're just selling a bag.
Yep.
There's a certain experience that you are going to get out of it, right?
Yep.
Or I remember one of our clients is Nest Asia. They're a home decor brand. Absolutely love visiting their stores.
Yeah.
Why? Because once you enter, there's a certain aesthetic to it. You can imagine the walls and where I'm going to put that flowers, where I'm going to put this particular painting, right? All of those things, how will you ensure that is being adhered to across all of your stores? It's all very manual. Even worse, it's on WhatsApp and Google Sheets today. Once you digitize that using Pazo, you see a significant increase in terms of your sales, in terms of your experience, which in turn can go and account per revenue that is coming in from per store.
Got it.
So, yeah.
And I think in this ecosystem, a lot of front workforces involved that who maybe are not much aware about how all of these things work. Other than that, I've been seeing this pattern. A lot of D2C brands are starting their offline stores.
Correct.
Even Mokobara, I think they are super successful. And honestly, they don't need to have an offline store. But here they are. I think there are more than 3-4 stores in Bangalore already.
Correct.
So what's this pattern like? I'll buy a lot of, and even like I was talking to this VC the other day, and they were talking about how a lot of D2C brands are trying to raise more money to have stores, which I couldn't understand. What's your views on that?
Got it. No, so thanks to my job, I speak to a bunch of retail CEOs or chief retail officers and stuff, right? And your data is bang on, absolutely correct. A lot of people are raising funds. A lot of people are planning. You won't believe there are stores at. So there's a store. It's a very retail thing. Every company has a team which is called as an NSO team, new store opening team. Their work is only to go identify those hotspots. Where should I open? What should be done?
Super interesting.
Right? What's the footfall going to look like?
I'm sure they're also doing like a lot of research.
Lot of research, lot of tech, lot of analysis, right? They speak because we are in the ecosystem, so we do understand that they are like spending good bunch of dollars going in to ensure that they have the right data with them in terms of footfall, in terms of what are the big malls that are coming up, what are the different things that are coming up, right? Because right now what is happening is, again, as I told you, a post-COVID world, people would want to experience. No longer you're selling a product, you're selling an experience.
Yeah.
As much as I'm also personally a big fan of online shopping, I would love if I could experience something. But then, that store is in a different city called as Whitefield, right? Right, and I stay in Koramangala, for example.
I saw what you did there.
I just can't travel there to get an experience. Oh, screw it, let me just order it online. Oh yeah, there is a store, but it's near the airport. Oh, someday when I'll go to take a flight, that time maybe I can think. Otherwise, I'm not going near the airport.
Yeah.
So now what is happening is people are optimizing so that there's a store within few kilometers of where you're living. People want that touch and feel in essence, depending on whatever project or product you are selling. I'll go back to the Mokobara example. You're taking the Mokobara bag, but you just want to see how is it going to look like? How big is it? As much as the measurements are given, I love this thing where Amazon, when you open the app, they say, look how it is going to look in your drawing room or in your room, right? Yeah. You can do all of that. But ultimately, once you look at the bag, then you can take a very informed decision. Oh no, this is good, but I think it's slightly smaller. Maybe I should go with that bag. It's bigger, but okay, chalega. It's fine. It's bigger is better. All of those experiences, unfortunately, you cannot do it over on online. And remember, study to back this up. Most numbers of, if you see, people are now optimizing for India 2 and India 3. Any kind of brand that is there, today they are optimizing for India 2 and India 3.
Yeah.
Now, India 2 and India 3, the brands that are there, the biggest thing for them is offline activations.
100%.
As much as they are coming in doing the entire process, offline business becomes very, very important.
Plus, I think I just remember one thing that for the longest time, a lot of these online brands were struggling because people were adamant to order it online. Okay, what will we get if we gonna get the original product or not?
Correct.
And I think that behavior is still there for India 2 and 3.
Correct. So when you have offline, you have experience that we spoke about, you have trust, you have a place to go. That's why brands are today coming with very easy return and exchange policies and stuff. So while there's a good significant of market that is growing on online, the result speaks, right? Why so many D2C brands today who have been probably D2C kings today, kings and queens, depending on whatever they are selling. Today, they are all being very, very bullish on going and starting off a store, starting off offline stores, starting off offline experience centers. One of our client is WeekFit. And WeekFit, I absolutely love the retail philosophy that they have. WeekFit speaks about that I want the person to come and experience. Why? Because they're selling mattress. 8 hours. As per what the rule or the nature's law says, right? 8 hours you should sleep.
Yep.
So apart from that chair, of your office, spending 8 hours the entire day on a WakeFit product, which is like supposed to be the most peaceful experience of the day when you are sleeping. Today you would want to sit on the sofa or on a mattress, experience it. And that's why a lot of them are like, they're calling their stores as experience centers today.
Yeah.
And brands have done it. The Sonys and Samsungs of the world. You should look at what they have been doing.
Yep.
They are turning their entire offline stores into experience centers. Where Pazo, certainly bringing in Pazo also here is to ensure that whatever SOP guidelines you have made, it will help you to ensure that it is being populated properly across all of your stores that are there. Because with multiple geographies coming in, with multiple people coming in, You spoke very amazing point of frontline workers, right? With all due respect to that, the work that they do, they are not supposed to be tech savvy.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the entire tech has to be very user savvy. The number one problem that we optimize for here at Pazo is imagine there's a person who's a janitor, there's a person who's a maintenance person, there's a retail executive who's great at selling his product, but suddenly I've given him an app or a tool which he has to now start recording things.
Yeah.
If it is not simple, adoption won't happen. And every SaaS company struggles with adoption. We are trying to solve that very, very peacefully today by making the tech as simple as possible because our biggest users are the frontline workers, which in turn are responsible for the whole brand experience. So while you are optimizing, raising funds, which you spoke about the VC conversations, everything is moving to offline. You also need to empower the frontline workforce. That is where we also come and we help the brands do that.
Wow. So that's a product in demand, basically.
Definitely.
And so does it make it like easy to sell as well?
Definitely, yes, because the demand is there. It's a lot of concept based selling as well, because I absolutely love the fact that a lot of people say, yeah, you should speak to big companies and then you should speak at smaller companies. I've spoken to enterprises who just didn't get the concept of why they should have a tool like this. I've spoken to a brand which has only 4 stores in entire India. They only approach us that we want a tool like this. For a smaller brand, it's okay. You can still manage things on WhatsApp. You don't need a tool. But for enterprise, it's a necessity.
Yep. It'll make it more scalable also for smaller brands.
So one of the things that I always talk when I have my discussion is that if you're a smaller brand, things are working on trust. Unfortunately, trust is not scalable. So tomorrow when you will start scaling up, you have someone, the guy has been with you, this store ka manager, that store ka manager and stuff. But tomorrow when you have 100 stores, a good problem to have, right? That day you cannot go out and you just cannot have a lot of different people whom you would be there. You would need a mechanism in place. You would need reports, dashboards, analytics. I mean, one of the people or the highest traffic that you see on Pazo's product is on all for dashboards and the analytical reports that are there because people want that visibility. That is a problem that we solve. So is it easy to sell? I would say yes and a no. It depends on whom you're talking to. It all depends on whether the person who's on the other side, are they even interested in digitizing their process or not? Thankfully, with this tech-driven world, with this world where we are optimizing for automations, we are trying, because this also helps you have a very lean team and ensure that you're utilizing your frontline resources also properly. Become like a KRA, KPI compliance tools as well. So suddenly we have seen, I mean, not suddenly, not that sudden, but of late we have seen that when we are talking to people, they're at least problem aware. They're aware, yes, this is a problem that exists. We definitely need to solve for that. So yeah, that problem awareness is there.
Got it. Yeah, I mean, I've been looking at a lot of so there was this inquiry at our agency to kind of design like a whole retail experience, which was a super interesting. It's actually still going on, and we are trying to like give them ideas. And the more we go deep into this, the more we realize that this is so difficult. It's not just about building amazing aesthetics, putting things here and there, but it's also you also need to think about the ROI that place gonna get. And I think I was just reading yesterday that Apple stores have like the biggest ROI. So I think they're earning $5,500 per square feet of their stores, which is insane. So do you think more of retail experiences gonna come in the future, or I mean, it's definitely happening as we've already discussed, because I think people have not a lot of attention right now. Do you think retail stores are gonna be like a compulsion, and do you think that's not nothing's gonna change a lot? Because I've seen a lot of malls that are empty, a lot of shopping centers that never got sold.
Ghost malls. They're called as ghost malls.
Oh, ghost malls.
Yeah, there's a term to it. Yeah.
And there are too many of them. So at one place we are talking about D2C brands are planning to start their own stores, and on the other side, the real estate side of it. What do you think is the future for these brands, and do you think that is it gonna change substantially or maybe like gradually?
No, very interesting because it's quite counterintuitive, right? On other hand, we are saying, oh, let's expand more, let's open more store. And on the other side, so I was reading about it. It's called as ghost malls, right? The footfall on these in these malls are practically zero, right? And then on the other hand, also, I recently went to a mall which is a Reliance property, by the way, and amazing mall. I mean, that should be like a tourist destination. Imagine, right? Because of the experience that they are serving. I'm glad that they are Pazo's customer today. But crazy brands, the food court is optimized for
In
an
Bangalore?
experience. Not in Bangalore, Mumbai,
Got it.
right? The food court is optimized for experience. The shopping outlets, the retail outlets are optimized. They have only, and they are very picky and choosy on what kind of brands would come. Of course, these are very high ticket size, the Gucci's of the world, and the big brands that are there. But they have optimized for that. They have optimized that, okay, one store, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be spending time, ensure that anyone who walks into this entire store should get the kind of experience, right? I recently, we attended an event where we were one of the exhibitors, right? It was an event around retail experiences and stuff. I saw so many different vendors in the market because all of them had like their booth and stalls and stuff, right? How do you use lighting? How do you use a display? There's a display panel, right? There's a very interesting burger joint in Indranagar called as Alien Kind. And
Yeah.
I'm not sure if you've seen that, right?
Yeah. I mean, we participated in their branding actually.
Oh, lovely. Then
Yeah.
who better than you to answer that, right? It's just when I'm crossing that signal, I'm going and it just hits me in the eye. Orange colors,
Yeah.
crazy branding.
And it's not a burger joint at all. It doesn't look like
It doesn't look.
like
It
maybe
looks like
text or something.
some. I'm like, okay, what exactly? Boom! You have got my curiosity, right? On top of it, they serve excellent food. I usually have had it, couple of times ever since they have opened, because that's my usually way of going. Amazing, right? And then you see the validation is there. There's a long queue. There is, there are people waiting. That shows that demand is there. Then you have, they are playing nice music. They are ensuring that everything is very optimized for. You have everything in place. The branding, since you have done, you would know, very peculiar color that you would not expect a store to look like. Good location, someone would have done that research as well. You need to tick a lot of boxes today to ensure that your an amazing metrics mentioned by you is revenue per square foot. That's like a holy number.
Yeah.
The North Star metric for any retail store.
Yeah. I think I only got to know about yesterday, to be very honest with you.
And and when I speak to retailers and when I speak to CEOs or CROs, chief retail officers, that is what they look into it. What is the per revenue square foot? And that's a decision to take whether to continue with a
Spend-
store or
Yeah.
close down a store.
Yeah. Because so the place where I stay in HSR, I think I've been living in that same house for almost a year and a half, and next to that, there's a road which is like kind of a main road, and I think there are bunch of stores that have changed maybe more than 5 6 times. So like every 2 months there's a new store coming up, right? Which is crazy because I'm assuming that the rent is just insane, and it's maybe not the right investment for a business. So I think that's super competitive.
Correct. So basically, what happens is on that part, right? Again, going back, let's talk numbers, right? If your revenue per square foot is not making sense, if it is not adhering to probably what you would have to go ahead and you have to do, it is not meeting a certain criteria, you probably will not run. You'll give it some chance. Okay, highly densely populated area like HSR, as you mentioned. Okay, festival is coming up. Maybe we won't recover the money in July, August, but September, October, Dashera and Diwali, maybe we'll recover that time up. That's why, everyone is now privy to giving
Yeah.
deep discounts and visit our store and, you take this bill, the next time you'll come, I'll give you 10%. Loyalty programs are on a rise, right?
And I think a lot of these businesses are only running on like the season sales.
Yeah,
Right?
definitely.
Like maybe they are earning like 1 year of revenue in like 4 or 5 months.
Correct.
Is that true? Like is that how?
Yeah, it depends on what product you are selling. If you are selling something, imagine a DMart is always a DMart,
Yeah.
right? That's why they are the DMart. It's like that. Simple,
Yeah.
right? Because look at what they have been selling. But let's say if you are an ethnic wear brand, for example,
Yeah, that's a
right?
great example. Yeah.
And there's a shadi season that is going to happen. There's a marriage hall. Although marriages barring a few months, it's almost happening.
Yeah.
May not be 100% perfect example, but if you're selling an ethnic clothes and stuff, right? Imagine, I was speaking to one of the ethnic brands. They were figuring out how to go and start selling on Zepto and Blinkit. When was the last time you thought you could order a kurta right on Blinkit?
Yeah.
And that they were planning to do it around Diwali time. Everyone wants to wear a new
Yeah.
kurta, right? If I can get it in, I mean, the high and low or cheap or costly would differ from person to person. But let's say if I get something in 500, 600, 700, some under 1,000, some 999, some kurta, or in 1,500, some really good brand that is there, and that it is getting delivered in 10 minutes, I'll be very, very happy. I mean, imagine there's a e-commerce 10 minutes delivery for a kurta
Yeah.
because there's demand for it.
I mean, I think I'm one of the user for sure. I'm super busy. I don't want to like not often that I go to like events like that, but then suddenly you need something to wear, and I think that's like a so I think so it'll be unfair if we won't talk about your sports journey, Nitin.
Yeah.
And let's let's talk about something that's around retail and sports. What do you think about Decathlon and why there was a huge void that Decathlon filled? And what do you think is if of the business of sports retail? If just
Yeah,
want
yeah.
to know
Sure,
your
sure,
views
sure.
on it.
No, very interesting name that you told, which is in terms of Decathlon, right? Again, let's go back to the experience part. Why does Decathlon have a basketball court
Yeah.
or a small cricket pitch within their store? That's backward integration, right? You are playing also, you are buying the stuff also there. What Decathlon cracked very beautifully, right? And if you see that, if you see like a Costco example in the US, or if you see other examples all across the world, right? What Decathlon has solved is I'm going to go and give you affordable, good sporting goods, sporting apparel wear, even right from shoes to this to that, right? I'm going to give that to you at a very, very affordable price. India is a country where everyone wants to play. Everyone should play. That is what, I also want to tell it to everyone. Ensure that some sports have picked up.
Yep.
Right? Look at the kind of rise of pickleball and paddle that has happened in a city like
Just going
all the major cities.
I think as we speak, they're like around 2 kilometers. There are more than 10 places.
Yeah, even in the middle of the day, I know four people. I know four locations where people are playing. I know, right? As in middle of the day. I went for a game last night, right?
Wow.
So
Yeah.
what is happening is
Money. These things
right,
are
right.
making money.
So what is now happening is that because the sports is going and becoming more and more out there, you would need complementary goods. You would need a good racket. You would need a good this, and it's a very good habit to have. When I go to play, whenever the time allows, I meet some 50-year-old, 65-year-old person, and he's playing, and he's fitter 10,000 times better than me.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, what is this? Because that guy has ensured that he takes out the time every day and play for 15, 20, 30 minutes. Some kind of sport.
Yeah.
I'm not getting into which sport you should play. That is completely left on your interest. But if he's going to play, he needs the shoes. He needs a good dry fit kind of t-shirt. He needs this. He needs that. Now, who are the biggest players in the market? The Reeboks, the Adidas, the Nikes of the world. Someone who can afford that still goes and buys that.
Yeah.
But again, India 2 and India 3 is what I spoke about, right? You go to a tier 2, tier 3 city, and if you see a Decathlon there, look the amount of people in that city. You're going on a bike daily. You need a wind cheater.
Yeah.
You wouldn't buy the Nike or Adidas one. You'll go and at a very affordable price, you'll get it at Decathlon. I think Decathlon solved for that very, how do I say, a very interesting price point thing that is there, experience. And earlier, the entire business of sports, retail business of sports, was one of these, some shop on the main market.
Yeah.
Some Sharma Sport Good or Varma Sports Good, right? I mean, no offense to them, right?
Yeah.
But then Decathlon came in and took over that entire market.
Yep.
Made it very structured, made it very, very experience oriented.
Yep.
Now you're going for a hike, Decathlon has something for you. Going for cycling, Decathlon has something for you. You're going anywhere, Decathlon has something for you, right? You have nothing You just go in Decathlon, you're chilling, literally in the language of chilling.
Yeah, I've
You
been
pick up a
there a number of
basketball,
times. Yeah.
right? You just chill. What also Decathlon has solved for a very interesting thing is I really liked. I have one of my friend who works for this company called as MishiPay, and slightly talking more about retail tech. They help people with self checkout. Decathlon is one of the places where self checkout is there.
Yeah, and
So you also don't have to worry about being in that queue. Skip the line, get going with it, right? I mean, shout out to the brand, but very interestingly, they have solved. So they have optimized for a lot of things. Look at the tech they have used. I spoke to someone who works at Decathlon, and this is not your regular retail store executive jobs, by the way. These are your people who are genuinely interested in sports. I have one of my friend who worked for Decathlon in Delhi. This guy is a marathon runner.
wow.
This guy was one of our best football players when we were in school. And today he is there. Why? Because now imagine if he wants to go and if you want to sell or buy something related to football, imagine the kind of expertise that he can give. What is good, what is not good. There's a goalkeeper who's telling you, oh, this kind of glass would work, this kinds of not. That is a Decathlon. So they have ticked a lot of right boxes, price points, experience, retail executives, self checkout, right? All of this technology coming up together and giving an experience which is called as Decathlon.
Yeah. What do you think about being a competitor to Decathlon today? So I think I've actually lived in France, and the time where I was in France, there was no Decathlon in India.
Mm-hmm.
They have some insanely like a state of the art stores, 20,000 square feet, 30,000 square feet stores, and I think they are already a giant, and I think it was not very difficult for them to kind of launch in India.
Hmm.
But now they are, I think, every second person has one or the other thing from Decathlon. Same was in France, by the way. So,
Okay.
what do you think there's an opportunity for more brands to participate? And why I'm actually trying to take this conversation into the world of sports,
Understood.
right?
Understood.
From that perspective.
The answer is yes. It's a very interesting, I remember studying that in B school. The incumbent is there in the market, the giant, the David versus Goliath kind of thing, right? So you have a person who's established.
Plus, India is like a duopoly place of
Correct.
duopoly, right?
Yeah. So right now, definitely, Decathlon comes into the monopoly business definitely because of the kind of offline footprints and experience that they have given, right? But tomorrow, if let's say Deepak, you and I start a brand, right, which is giving competitive pricing and giving better quality as well. Of course, there's marketing around it and stuff. People, I know a lot of these athleisure brands that are there today, which are doing much better than those regular Decathlon brands as well. So they have optimized for two things. A, distribution. They've ensured that the distribution is there. It reaches to you faster than a Decathlon product. It could be from Zepto's e-commerce or online orders or whatever, right? Even at your home, they're coming and selling. So distribution is the key for any B2B, B2C products that is there. I'm going into the business metrics as well. Second thing that is there is the quality as well, right? And it's a very market. I'm not sure if it's an Indian thing. Not sure about other countries. You tell me. But every now and then you would want some fresh, something new to come up, right? Oh, everyone is wearing the Decathlon only.
Yeah, right. I mean, so I think that's a really fair point. It's like sometimes I've seen like when I go to the gym and I'm seeing like 4 people wearing the same thing. I don't want that, dude. Like, take extra money. I don't wanna. I don't.
There are memes about people wearing same clothes and no, it's a same store, right?
Exactly. Yes. So I think that's something that, and plus I think there's still, according to me, there's still a huge gap for an Indian sports brand. So I'm sure you would know these small brands called Shiv Naresh. Sorry, they are actually huge. Maybe not in terms of the business they are doing, like Decathlon and stuff. They're deeply into the rooted culture of the country, of the culture of sports. But in that case, I think the good design is missing. Maybe good marketing is missing. I think that's just a matter of time before someone opens their mind and start something. What are your thoughts?
No, absolutely. I would continue on the Shiv Naresh. I have a Shiv Naresh jacket with me.
Yeah,
Right. It's a very
lower and a
okay.
shirt, yeah.
That's a very special jacket because it was given to me by the Indian hockey captain.
Wow.
right? I was there in 2018 Hockey World Cup that happened in India. So I was there to on the ground to look into few things. I'm also a sports analyst. So I was able to spend some time. And as a gift or whatever, I was given that full set that the Indian hockey team, it's very special because it has India written at the
Yeah.
back,
Yeah.
which only the players gets to wear. That's a Shiv Naresh thing, right? It'll be very unfair to compare that to a Adidas or a
Yep.
Nike jacket
Yep.
or a
100%.
a pullover. But the problem is Shiv Naresh will not go and make it for a high profile cricket team, any IPL or other teams that are there, right? Or any Premier League teams that are there. You would not see them making jerseys for, or Shiv Naresh will not make a jersey for them. The reason, which you mentioned, quality, design, and a lot of other things that are there. My complaint, my concern today rather, is that we are not giving chance to Indian brands, and then we advocate of when will the Indian brands come forward.
Yeah.
That was exactly the reason, or somewhere this thought was the reason why, Sai, my friend, and then eventually we joined the gang in terms of starting Khel India as well.
Yeah. Tell us about that.
Yeah,
Let's just like shift this conversation to your.
I'll just quickly come to that. It's because I was very disturbed by the fact that everyone is talking about this sports only in the country. It's very counterintuitive. Everyone to their own, right? I mean, people would come and they will speak about all of these things. Someone says, "Okay, you know what, Nitin? I've worked for 8 hours. I have come back. I need entertainment. I need a team that wins on the screen. I need to have a good match of cricket, football, whatever it is there, right? I am a third generation Manchester United fan in my family, just to let you know.
Wow.
Yeah, third generation,
That's it.
right?
Like your father,
Grandfather, father. Yeah.
That's
Correct.
rare.
So everyone sits and follows, watches football in some capacity. The frequency may be, low or high. And I also started watching. I'm pretty sure the next generation is definitely going to play or watch, right? So that is something that I've got, and very less time, or the frequency was too less where people in my home spoke about other teams rather than the famous or the popular team. Because at the end of the day, you would want to come, you would want to see your team win, you would want to go out and do these things that are there, right? So, but then someone told me, Nitin, why should I sit and watch an Indian national football team?
Yeah.
They lost a match to Hong Kong, or they lost a match to Thailand, which is probably even lesser than us. It's an ecosystem problem. See, we can always go and we can connect dots and we can say, oh, we should allow this. Or a UAE does it, why is not India doing it? Or a France does it, why is not India doing it, right? It's all about culture. If I ask you today, while we were celebrating the biggest cricket league on the earth, right, when it was happening,
Yeah.
parallelly, India went on to finish second in the Asian Athletics Championship. But no one
Talk about.
gave a damn about that,
Yeah.
right? No one spoke about that the way probably it should have been spoken. So that's one of the issues that probably then starts to happening. Our entire effort of starting Khel India was somewhere directed towards it. I mean, it's sort of written as a mission statement is to speak or to create awareness about the underappreciated, if that's a word, or less appreciated sports in the country. During my time when I was working closely, mostly as an intern with Bengaluru FC, the football team, right? I met an Australian player. His name is Eric Partalu. And some conversations we were having, and very interestingly, he told about how a sporting ecosystem is there in Australia,
Oh, Australia is wild.
right?
Australia is wild. It's like everyone has to choose a sport.
Exactly, right? So it has become like a mandate for someone to go and have a sport. And you know what is also the biggest thing? There's infrastructure supporting every sport.
Exactly. Yeah.
Want to play football? I have something for you. Want to play cricket? Oh, there's an institute there for it. You want to play javelin throw? There's something for that. You want to play this? We have something for that. Right? In India, the issue that has happened is I understand developing country. That's why I don't want to get into things that I cannot change, nor I'm having the power to do it. Right? What is Nitin? This is not a problem to be solved in developing countries, right? Why would I go and make a handball institute? I can use that to create like an employment center. Please do that. No one is asking not to do it, right? But if we have to grow up as a sporting country, we have to appreciate every sports.
Yeah.
If not in similar manner, 60-40%, we should definitely do it. I'm the biggest cricket fan. I absolutely love watching cricket. I watch even if like the IPL and stuff is over,
Okay, Test cricket or T20?
test cricket any day. Any day test cricket, right? Um, both have its own charm.
Yeah.
I feel test cricket is where it can eat 10 T20 games for breakfast, right?
100%. 100%.
Right? So I go out and I watch. I also follow other countries' T20 leagues and stuff because I absolutely love the idea of watching cricket.
Yeah.
That I also do it for football. But I also have a job. I also have to family and personal professional commitment. So whenever time allows. And at that time, I would want to watch a team that wins. I should get that happiness. I should sleep peacefully. I should get up very energetic and say, oh, wow, I'm feeling very happy. I'm on top of the world because my team won the game last night. Right? And that only few sports currently in the country is doing that. Saina Nehwal follows Khel India. We had something put up for Lakshya Sen when he lost the bronze medal match in Olympics, right? My biggest or one of our biggest complaints was, okay, you're remembering Lakshya Sen today. You would only remember him when he plays the Olympics next year.
Exactly.
Who remembers, Neeraj Chopra anytime in between the Olympics that are there? When he wins something in Olympics, everyone very nicely puts up a story.
I think one great thing came out of his medal was how more people started to pick javelin. Like, that's the thing that we need in the ecosystem, is because when you win medals, more people are attracted towards the game. Because otherwise, like on it, like even me, like I didn't know anything about javelin, and then this guy wins like a gold, and then like, oh damn, we can get medals in javelin, right?
Imagine someone,
Like,
someone
more
is
sports needs to like
exactly
have
that.
winners.
That was the idea behind Khel India. We have not even be nearly close to it because we run it out of passion.
Yeah.
Probably on a Saturday and Sunday because both of us, both me and my friend Sai, we both have a job, right? It's something that we do purely out of passion. If we can help a player, if one post of a reel, if I post today, if it can help a player or if it can reach to 20,000 people and at least two more viewers are watching javelin today because of Khel India, I'll be happy. That is the metric that we chase. So we created it around to increase the awareness around the underappreciated sports in the country, right? Which in turn should increase awareness, and it's a marketing thing, by the way. Right?
Yeah.
So awareness is increased,
Exactly.
top of the funnel,
Yeah.
and you started watching it, you have come to middle of the funnel, and then you become a fan. That's the bottom of the funnel, right? Today, I'm so happy. Imagine this, right? Neeraj Chopra, or probably, think about any other. I'll mention one name, Aditi Ashok, who plays golf for the country.
Wait.
Last Olympics, she ensured Indians are up at 4 a.m. in the morning to sit and watch golf.
Crazy.
It was very sad that she was down on the medal,
Yeah.
but she was right there. Javelin throw, Neeraj Chopra, right? Ensured that we are up at, it was a very late night event,
Yeah.
around 1 a.m. in the night. We sit and we watch people throwing javelin. Something that we are not. Imagine you go to a stadium. There are a bunch of boys and girls practicing and throwing javelin.
That's beautiful.
Honest questions, right?
Yeah.
To everyone hearing this also. You would not want to sit and watch that.
Yeah.
Instead, I'll watch this, give me something entertaining.
Yep.
Right? Neeraj Chopra went on, bang on, got a gold medal, broke, thanks to actually a body like a JSW Sports, right? I've been someone who's worked very closely with them, so I know the kind of philosophy, right? They built a state-of-the-art infrastructure. There's something called as Inspire Institute of Sport, IIS, near Bellary, right? You should definitely check that out. They got the best athletes to come and train there. They got the best people to do there. And today they are responsible for feeding everyone in the Olympic teams that represents India for different sports. Then should we want to win a medal for javelin India? I'll give you the path. I'll give you the the entire process that is there. So India is in a very, if you are into sports, if you are want to do something in sports, there's no better time than this, because there's people are picking up sports as a lifestyle.
Yeah.
People are picking up more sporting activities thanks to a lot of, I can go on and on telling you. I have 2 to 3 very passionate founders who I know who have started this community in Bangalore called it Sprenzo, right? They go ahead and they, go on and then they tie up with the Rush Arenas and Go Rallies of the world, right?
Yeah.
And they bring in the whole community. You want to play football? I have a community for it.
Yeah.
You're new to Bangalore, you want to join a networking group? Look at the run clubs that are happening.
Yep.
Look at the pickleball clubs that are happening. Paddle, right? Golf. People are picking up sports in any, in any shapes and forms or any different, whatever they are interested in,
At
right?
any scale, like
At any
people
scale.
are playing cricket in turf.
Right.
They don't have a big ground or a time.
Imagine cricket in turfs was not something that you could have imagined 5 years ago. Today, there is box cricket as a product listed on your different websites,
Yeah.
where you can book the grounds that are there, right?
That's insane. And people are paying crazy amount of money.
Exactly, right?
Like
and
3K an hour. Like,
and people are doing it.
so, if someone would have told you, like, I wouldn't have believed it.
So the place where I grew up in Lucknow, right? Around our house, there was a ground, park kind of, and there used to people staying all around that house. I remember 6 a.m. I used to get up because I was very interested. I'll ring everyone's bell. Array, send that friend, send that friend. The moms would come out. They would appreciate. They say, see, Nitin has got up and he's coming to play at 6 a.m. We should also go. I used to get everyone, the 1 hour used to go off in that. Then we used to start.
Yeah. Yeah.
Today, with technology, with the community, you want to play cricket today, I can give you 4 places where cricket is happening within 2 kilometers,
Yeah.
and you can just join a game.
Yep. That's true.
So, what an exciting time to be building something in sports. You could be anything. You could be building apparel. You could be building a sporting ecosystem. You could be building sports equipments. You could be into players representation or player agencies that are there, right? VCs are investing money into it.
Yep.
So that means we are talking about a business model that is bankable. That as per a VC, they see return coming into it.
And I think there's something from the government called Khelo India.
Correct.
Thing, is there?
We have a very similar name to that, right? So Khelo India is a university game kind of things, right? Which is promoting sports at the grassroots level. So if you're someone who studies in a university and you're playing good, Khelo India will then go on to become like a platform for you to upgrade yourself. I know I've got a very good friends who, who works at Baseline Ventures. Again, I can, I hope none of these brands mind me taking their names, right? Baseline Ventures, amazing work they are doing. They do player representations, right? They are working with every nooks and corners of the country, getting the best players to come out and pick it up. Credit where it's due. Look at what has IPL done. Today, you can have 3 to 4 Indian cricket teams only by picking up the best players of IPL, Indian players.
Yep.
Right? There's a whole scouting mechanism that has come up. So,
Yeah, same with ISL as well.
Exactly, ISL, right? I mean, I've seen that, right? There are clubs that have set up their entire grassroots level coaching. There's under 8, under 19.
Yeah.
I've seen that happening for Bengaluru Football Club.
Yeah.
What an amazing, correct, right?
I was living in Kerala, and they used to be like a big, like kind of a really high quality turf near my house. And so Kerala Blasters had one team, like the main team, but they had like under 17, under 15, under 20 teams as well.
Exactly.
And I honestly, like, I'm coming from the north and maybe people are not much crazy about football. I've never seen that passion in football, and the kind of skill they had, amazing, absolutely amazing.
Exactly. So I'll give an example, right? At Bengaluru Football Club, there's a player who has played for the team. The player walks into the academy 8-9 years ago with his school bag. He's coming in after school,
Yeah,
to go ahead and to practice. Under 8, under 10, under 12, under 15, under 18. Today, he makes his debut alongside Sunil Chhetri. Scores a goal on the debut.
Oh wow. What's the age?
Must be around 18, 19 right now. Imagine that, right?
Beautiful.
So that's the kind of grassroots development that I'm talking about.
And
I'm not getting into the players' names and details and stuff, right? But I'm talking about the infrastructure that is there. And it is there for every ISL team. Today, if they want to get a license to operate as a club, these things have become mandatory.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, that's I think a lot of it is just like cultural biases. For example, I can only speak so I'm my I had friends playing sports like from Haryana. I have born and brought up there, like spent most of my life in that region. And I saw, so near my ground, whenever we used to go out on a run or something, there were people like get like they get up at 4 a.m. and they just practice for 3 4 hours, coming from a background where they did not have any support,
Correct.
no kids, no coaches, and still they have managed to get themselves into national and stuff like that. I think just imagine if they if you just give them and that ecosystem to kind of flourish. Uh, so I think it's a lot of cultural biases and like the political ecosystem. Yeah, I think, but genuinely, I think that the future is definitely bright.
Imagine, right? I mean, and these stories inspires you so much. They inspires you
Wow.
so much that
In
you
the
just can't.
team, even like there's so many amazing, heartwarming stories for a women hockey team.
Correct, correct, correct.
Women
correct.
running away from their house, trying to make a living, and also playing sport at competitive
And
level.
now imagine them go on to win an Olympic medal.
That's insane, right?
I mean, you get goosebumps talking about it, right? Imagine this, right? I mean, these are all stories that are probably, it's unfortunate, really unfortunate, it gets brushed under carpet. Let's talk about one of the biggest players from the country, Jasprit Bumrah.
Yeah.
Jasprit Bumrah had such a humble background, grew up. There's a story that he has told. He goes to he's there in Ahmedabad, he's returning with practice, his shoes is torn. He goes, speaks to his mother that I probably would need this particular shoe. Unfortunately, mother says, like, we can't afford it right now. Today is the brand ambassador of that shoe company.
Yeah, right.
Imagine.
That's the beauty of sport. That's the beauty of pursuing.
Sports is such a leveler. You have the biggest team, an underdog team comes, defeats you, and you believe in motivation. You believe if they can do it, we can do it.
Yeah.
You may be.
I mean, on the
Imagine-
ground, there's no skill set. It's just the
Correct, correct.
pure
And, and what I see is the kind of mental impact that it has to people watching it.
Yeah.
Imagine, for example, if there's someone who's probably struggling with something, there's someone who's probably down and not feeling very good about something happening at work, something happening in personal life, goes on in a stadium, cheers for his or her team. I'm very, very thankful to it when there was some rough patches in my life personally also. I used to go for a Bengaluru FC football game. The whole fan club, which is the West Block Blues, right? We used to all cheer together for the team. Those 90 minutes, I've forgotten what the problem is. Team is 1-0 down, comes on, wins the game 2-1. I go back with a hope, with a motivation. Things might look difficult right now. Hold on. You'll win the game.
A lot of life lesson out of this.
Right?
Yeah.
And then you hear these bigger things that are there, right? These inspirational stories that are there, that someone has ran away for a home. I wish all of us had that courage. All of us had that vision to probably do what we really like. And Deepak, I think, we should be really thankful that probably in some of the other format or some of the other way, today you are able to do what you really like.
Yeah.
I am able to be around or do what I really like. And we are not talking about our designations. We are not talking about the companies.
Yep.
We are talking about what you genuinely like. I love talking. I love selling. I'm doing that. And that is why the confidence would come that I think I can really do it. Or I really love being around sports. I'm trying to solve something from there. I don't know whether it has created that impact or not, but ultimately, you can sleep peacefully at night because you have done something which you really like and you have contributed towards that. I wish everyone had that kind of courage to pursue that. We get more ecosystems, we get more mentors. Talking about sports, there's so many sports institutes that have come up.
Yep.
Which are nowhere to be seen 10 years ago. Why?
Insane, yeah.
The entire ecosystem is growing, right? So,
Now, I mean, I think the one thing I absolutely enjoying in our country is basically you can become an artist today. You can create art. You can be like a sports person. And even if you don't want to become a sports person, there's so many. You can be an analyst. You can be a broadcaster. You can be just like a community builder. And there's endless possibilities.
let me flip the narrative here, right? You are someone who understands design so well, right? You are someone who's been teaching at different design institutes. You are someone, imagine 10 years ago, you walk up to your parents and say, I want to be a designer. Let's not even talk about
That conversation though.
I'm pretty sure you can. Why don't you? I mean, let me be the host here. You tell me about it, right? I mean, you are someone who's been a evangelist in the design industry, right? You're someone who runs their own agency. Did 10 years ago, 15 years ago, you could have imagined this,
No,
even in
not
the
at
ecosystem?
not at all.
Yeah.
I think for the longest time it was just like a hobby. For I remember, like, think I got exposed to design when someone told me about desktop publishing, which was
Yeah, yeah.
called, it used to call DTP, which means like designing these wedding cards, like brochures, and all these flex boards and stuff like that. I think for the longest time it was just that, even for me. But then I got exposed to ecosystems, friends, people who were designers. And here we are. Look, even the time. So I graduated in 2018, 17, and today is to 2025. I think it's just flipped. The amount of people who are becoming designers, the
Correct.
amount of places that where you could be a designer. People, like, there are teams that has 60, 70 designers, right? Which
Correct.
used to be like it was almost impossible maybe 10 years ago, right? Have
Yeah.
like 60. A lot of fintech companies that I work with, a bunch of them have like 70 designers. Target, they are not even in India, but they have like a design, like a included.
Target has a huge design
They have
team.
600 designers in their
Correct.
their team, which is insane. So yeah, I mean, design wise, so it has this.
So imagine, right? So that's the point, right? You want to pursue designing, you want to pursue sports, you want to pursue. I know people because I was reading about it, right? Game designing, game developers,
Oh yeah,
right?
that too.
Today, influencer is a course, is like a stream of income. Being a gamer is a stream of income.
Yeah.
I remember the smacking I've got for playing a lot on my computer. Today, someone is earning million, billion dollars just by playing games. I hope there are enough ecosystems. I hope there are enough ways for anyone to do whatever they want to, whatever they are genuinely interested in. Very exciting time, not just for sports, but for anything, right?
Yeah.
Especially in India, right? I'm very, very bullish about the growth that the world is seeing, that India is seeing, right? Don't want to make it like a patriotic statement,
Yeah.
but also the world in general, right? With the kind of growth that's happening, I hope we move away from the lens of a lot of things. There's a lot of biasness which you spoke about. You spoke about political
Yeah.
things, right? Without getting too controversial, I hope we move away from all of those things.
Yeah.
And take talent as it is, right?
100%.
Without looking into whether this person has certain political thing, whether it belongs to a certain caste or a religion or not, whether he or she does XYZ things or not. The person is talented. Here is an ecosystem. Go, flourish, and be the best that you can. Be it a designer, be it a sports person, be it a SaaS business head, whatever you would want to do, go ahead and do that. Yeah.
Very, very well said, Nitin. That leads us to the last question. What's the future? What's the future for you? What's like the ideal future for you? And even around your lifestyle, what is the future that you want to live in?
Okay. Interesting personal question. I got married last month.
Congrats, Ada.
Thank you. So the future is, of course, now when I talk about future, I have to I definitely am blessed to have a partner. Her name is Parul. So I'm blessed to have a partner like her. So now, whatever, when you talk about future, for me personally, also, a lot of it is something that we take that decision together. We ideally should, because we have got into that kind of relation right now. So right now, I just want to make the most of whatever is there in front of me. I definitely want to travel a lot, right? Something that I was doing earlier and got a little too occupied in between. But then again, started doing that. Travel the world, experience a lot of different things that are there. Thanks to work, you were speaking about it earlier, right? So my work, both, because it's a customer facing role, right? Be it here or be it even in the previous organization. And thankful to my employers that while it is all strictly work visit, but let's say I finish the work and then I'll just roam on the streets. Right?
Yeah.
Let's say Bombay is a city where I've been 100 times, but still I know that every time that I go, there are some 10 things that I still probably have not looked. Oh, let's go and have that vada pav at 11 p.m. in the night, right? The work is done. So I just want to travel a lot personally, learn new things, learn new languages, experience the world with her. Both of us have plans. She's someone who's very passionate about education, teaching, changing the world as well, pets. So we would probably would want to go ahead and would want to do that on a personal basis. That's the plan ahead. On professional basis, I just want to solve better problems. I see myself as a guy who comes in. If you have a problem, it's a problem that I think I can solve. I would want to get, in a good sense, more challenges. Good sense, right? I don't even
I don't want to make anyone's life different.
right. Good challenges. Oh, this is a challenge that a business is facing. This is a challenge that they are facing. I'm very passionate about startups, the early stage, or 0 to 1, 1 to 100 kind of ecosystems, because I've solved problems in different industries.
Yeah.
So currently it's sports, it's SaaS, it's education, right? So, these are the things: D2C brands, B2C brands, B2B, enterprise, right? So I just want to solve bigger and better problems. As of now, I'm thankful, fortunate enough to lead an amazing team. Right? If you say that, Nitin, if today you say 1%, I'm a good leader. It's all because of the team. It's never because of me, right? So I have an amazing team. I would want to grow that. I would want the teams. If it's $1 million, I would want to make it a $2 million. Just the whole aspect of solving bigger and better problems, play more sports, want to visit the world, want to see every game that India plays at an Olympic, or I hope that happens at the FIFA World Cup,
Great place.
right?
Yeah.
Or probably go and watch whatever I can.
Yeah.
So a lot of watching of
An
sports.
ideal way for how Khel India can take shape.
Exactly, right. So that's my personal thing. So travel with my partner, explore the world, go and watch a lot of. She's also someone, I'm very thankful to that. Along with me, she has picked up a lot of things in sports. So, do that, and personally, professionally solve bigger problems, whichever company I am in, take them to the next level and be that guy who brought in that change. So that's the plan.
Wow. All the best for the future.
Thanks, Dipaq.
And
Yeah.
thanks again for hopping on the podcast. I hope to catch you soon.
Definitely. Thank you so much for having me. It's been an absolute pleasure. I think kudos to the entire team for setting up. This has been amazing. I think we have been speaking over close to more than an hour.
Almost 2 hours.
It felt like I've been
Almost 2 hours.
yeah. It feels
It's like 1.5 hours.
yeah. It feels like I've just started talking
Yeah,
5 minutes. But that's the that's the beauty of conversation, right? And especially when a conversation happens with someone who's equally passionate, right? So I think credit to you, Deepak, for putting this up together and for getting and I mean, massive shout out and kudos to the Groundbreaking team and the entire team here for putting this up. The best part about beautiful conversations are that at the end of it, you always feel, oh, there's so much more to talk.
Yeah, right.
I hope another podcast. I hope you get me on another episode and we can talk more about different things in life.
We can have like a different, maybe like multiple people like that.
Yeah,
I mean, like maybe we can pick your partner and we can
Yeah.
do like one.
I'm pretty sure she would love that. But thank you so much, and hopefully, can't wait to see how people react to it. So yeah.
Awesome.